No, I think yours. Edna's going to respond, probably for half an hour.
No, I have to stand.
Oh, you're going to
Yeah, I'm going to stand. I can't sit. It's too many lovely people. First of all, I think it's awesome that I have reached 90 years of age. And I would like to give the Lord all the praise and the glory, because I know without Him I wouldn't be here today celebrating with you all, and I will be forever grateful. Now I want to respond to Terry. Your memory, love, it was pretty on. We did all those things. And love, I thank you for what you've said. You've made my day. And Janet, it's so lovely when your child gets, no, him in a minute. When you get to 7, you know, Terry's nearly 70. And the others are all not much behind him. But to have him say what he said, and Janet, you know, it's such a blessing. It's all the struggles we had because we had no money, we didn't. But I was determined because my mum, I had the best Christmases. She made them so exciting, and I was determined that my children would experience what I experienced. So I used to start planning Christmas in January, Terry, not
I knew my memory was rock.
so that we all had a wonderful Christmas, and we did. And so, Terry, thank you for your memories, for everything you've said, for all of you. I'm so proud of you all. And you know, I just know that if Dad was here today, I know what he would say. He would just love you all and be so proud of you all. And Nick, celebrating with you is very, very special. We've shared so many lovely times together. My birthday.
Testing.
And my children and your partners, Terry and Jill, Lynn and Steve, Nick and Cheryl, John and Julie, Neil and Kim, Janet and Chris. And 2 of my sons married 2 sisters, Kim and Jill are sisters, and we've always got on really, really well. And I'm so proud of you all and the people that you have become, what you've achieved in your lives. To think you were brought up by a single mum in Elizabeth, and what you've all achieved is outstanding. And as I said, I'm so very proud of you all, and I know your dad would be. My grandchildren, I can't name them all, there are quite a lot. But some of them are here today. Katie, Dave, Paul and Ed, Johnny and Kelly, Steve, Christy, Beth, Chris and Jessica, Daniel, Jay. Okay. Chris and Jessica, Daniel, Jane and your partner and your partners. How precious you are to me, and my great grandchildren that are here. Wilbur, Alfie, Everett, Freya, Tarly and Frankie, Mikey and William, Rolly, Manny, Stella, and we can't forget little Jack, who are here today. Such a blessing. I would also like to mention John's children. The love we share. I haven't got 6 children, I have 10. John's eldest daughter Carolyn with Rick are here today. Greg, John's only son with Marisha. So good that you are here today. John's other 2 daughters, Angela and Diane, couldn't be with us as they live in Queensland. But I know their thoughts will be with us today. Diane's youngest daughter bought me a hanging tile in the shape of a heart, and it says, "Who needs a fairy godmother when you've got a stepmom?" How lovely was that? And I mustn't forget my one and only nephew John and his wife Heather. So good to have you here today. My sister Jenny, who's here also, who is 92. We go back a long way, Jenny, and we have so many lovely memories of our childhood spent in Edinburgh. We never had what the world would term wealth, but we had what money could never buy: great parents and a happy and free childhood. Now my lovely friends who have played a big part in my life, David and Yvonne, I'm so thrilled to have them here today. I believe we go back to 1976, where we attended church together. David was with Keith when he died, which I was very grateful for. He was my motor mechanic who kept my car on the road. Yvonne was my friend. We supported each other always. We were always there for each other with lots of good memories we share. David drove me to my wedding in one of his lovely vintage limousines. Now I want to talk about Count Conley. What do I say about Conley? Where are you, Conley? Stand up, will you, lovely, please? This lad, I always called him my fifth son. He was Mick's friend, so he came to our house a lot. We go back to as far as David and Yvonne. So all the other young people came to my house. It was the go-to place. Conley lost his mum when he was about 20 with the dreaded C word, and he never coped really well with it. So I became his go-to person, his confidant. When he couldn't sleep and wasn't coping, he would ring me late at night and just say, "Talk to me." He called me Dog, after the Dorothy Dix, the agony ants, and he still calls me Doc to this day. Then he came to live with us before he met his lovely wife Cheryl, who is with us today. It was at this time, Conley, that we learned to laugh again, because we had so much fun. I can't count the times him and my son Neil would tip me out of bed at midnight and match us up at the wall, me down there on the floor. Or in winter they would short sheet my bed, or take all the blankets off and just leave me a sheet and a counterpane, anything to cause us to laugh. So many memories, Conley, who, by the way, is the brother of my nephew's wife, Heather. Les and Max, who I'm very sorry can't be with us today. Max was my sanity in the office because I really struggled to get my head round it all. Max was amazing. She was so patient and encouraging. So Max, I thank you if you get to see this. John was no handyman, so if I couldn't fix it, he would just say, "Get Les," because Les could turn his hand to anything. Mark and Dee, who came to work for us and who became our amazing friends. Then I want to talk about Matthew and Trish, who are here today from Queensland. Matthew is with Bridges for Peace, supporting Israel. And in 2019, I was really ill. It was before I had my operation. And we were going on a tour with Matthew and Trish to Israel. It was a dream I'd had. And I rang Matthew and I said, "I don't think, Matthew, I'm going to be able to go. I didn't want to burst John's bubble." He said, "Why?" And I said to him, "Because I'm not well and I'm not sure I could cope with it, sitting on the aeroplane and walking around Israel. So he said to me, I want you there, Edna, I want you and John to come. He said, I'll organise a wheelchair. I said, would you really, Matthew? He said, yes, I will. And yes, he did. So Matthew pushed me round Israel. We went with Jim and Renee. We had a wonderful, wonderful time. And I saw Israel that I probably would if Matthew hadn't pushed me round in a wheelchair. But he did. We were there for 15 days. We saw everything. And Matthew and Trish, you've become our dear friends. And I thank you so much. Yes, Jim and Renee, we met in church. About 12, as Renee said, and we've been friends ever since. Thank you. Now, Kim and Faye from Jacob's Well. Our church without walls, where John met him on one of our many freedom marches. He gave him a card that had Jacob's Well. John calls it a retreat in the Mallee. And so we decided to go and visit them, and we did, and we've been there for the last 4 or 5 years. They have incredible festivals and times at Jacob's Well. And Faye and Kim, you've become our dear friends, and I'm really grateful that you're here today. Then Greg and Kirsten, also we met at Jacob's Well. But I might add that John, it was in Minlerton where Greg was born. That was his son in 1965. Greg Crozier, his friend, was born in 1970. And John left Minnerton in 1971. And he always says they had a great influence on Greg, because for that year he talked to him in the pram. And so Greg and Kirsten came with me to sing happy birthday. So thank you for being here today. Mark and Lisa, we met 4 years ago when the election was on, and Mark was standing up politically for Australia. So we voted for him, and we've been friends with him and Lisa ever since. We count them. Now with Dr. Graham Lyons, who we met through Alan and Nicole Novak, who became a dear friend. We have shared a couple of lunches with him at his farm in Chapel Hill, near Chunga, by the side of his big dam, surrounded by his lovely herd of black Angus cattle. We love listening to him, as he has many very interesting stories to tell. He's been a speaker at many events we have attended, and he has stayed in our home a couple of times. Where is it? I just want to read a couple of things about Graham. He returned to Adelaide University in the 1990s, completed a master's degree in public health and a PhD on alleviating micronutrient deficiencies in soil, plants and people. Graham has written several books and book chapters and numerous scientific articles since early 2020. He has focused on the family farm and fighting against tyranny, and I count it a privilege to have Dr. Graham Lyons as a friend. And of course Alan and Nicole Dover, who we also met through the COVID. Nicole has a big health food shop down at Moana. We've been down there and bought quite a few supplements. And I met Alan, he introduced us to different supplements that would sustain us through our health. And they've become our dear friends, Alan and Nicole. Thank you. Now I want to introduce you to Bruce and Gina. Bruce, oh John, I've no idea, he met him 100 years ago, but he'd lost touch with him. And then he was at Robert Marie Polke's, who who are friends of ours. We met through Birdwood United Church, and we've been friends ever since. And about 10 years ago, when we met Rob and Marie, we just clicked, and we became friends with them and their family ever since. And that's how we met Bruce and Gina. Bruce was helping Rob write a letter. He was pretty cluey, Bruce. And Rob rang John and said, come across, there's someone here I would like you to meet. So we went to his home, and he introduced himself as Bruce Van der Peer. And John said, Van der Peer, we could be related. And he looked at him and he realised there was his cousin 3 times removed. So of course that was connection through John's mum, who was a Van der Peer. So from that connection and the right today, they've become our firm friends. And if I have anything, I run it past Bruce. He's a very clever man. He was in the Navy. He rose to ship's captain, and his lovely wife Gina. And then Marlene and Ross, who we met many years ago, when John was engaged by Ross to sell some of his land at One Tree Hill. And that was 20 years ago, and we've been friends ever since. We have. And then David and Lee. Great. It's really great, David and Lee, that you're here. That's John's nephew with his wife Lee. They could be here with us today. So great. You are all very special friends to John and I. And we are so pleased that you are here today to share my birthday. So thank you for coming. Last of all, but not least, I want to pay tribute to my incredible husband. We've been together 36 years, and he's amazing. All this, John has organised. He does it to nothing's too much trouble. It's kindness itself. He's generous to a fault. He's got long arms and short pockets. He'll put his hand in his pocket, 12-penny one. He's absolutely amazing. And as Terry said, I've been blessed with 2 very happy marriages. My first husband was the best, he was. But then God gave me John. And lovey, I thank you. We've spent 36 years together. We've had many ups and downs we have. I ran away from him 3 times.
Did he call you?
I did. He went after me, he brought me back. He reckons I went to live and she didn't want me.
Let me tell the story. This is my story about when she ran away. She ran away to Lynn, the oldest daughter. And Lynn said, I don't want you, get back. Then she ran away to Janet the 2nd time, and Janet said, I don't want her, get back. The 3rd time she ran away, I ran after her, and I got her back. And I'll finish on this point. If she ever threatened to leave me, I was going with her.
So thank you all. Thank you, Terry. What lovely. Thank you. Come here. To all of you, you're all our lovely friends, family, and I appreciate you all. And John Prothero, I must talk about John. He again, I had 6 sons because John practically lived with us. He loved coming to our house because he only had a sister, and I had Mick and John and JP. They were all 3 same age. He loved to come and he'd stay. I mean, he used to come on a Friday night and didn't go home till Sunday night, every weekend.
Did he pay more?
And him and Mick and John were great friends, and they'd play football and cricket together. And playing cricket in our driveway, I used to think they were playing for sheep stations. They couldn't bear to lose. But anyway, John, it's lovely to have you here today with Edna. And like I say, we go back many, many years. So again, I thank you all, each and every one of you. You are special to me. And I appreciate each and every one. Thank you for coming. Sharing so now you can have a piece of cake and a cup of tea.
This just wraps up the event. We've got to be out here by about 4 o'clock, maybe 4:15. Stay as long as you want. Have a talk to everyone. And thank you all for coming. Thank you again.